So, you know who also had time to lash out at the continuing attacks from George Conway, calling him Mr. Kellyanne Conway like that's an insult, claiming that he didn't get a job at the White House and that he's, quote, a stone-cold loser and husband from hell. It kind of sounds like him.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
talking about himself. Now, I see that Kellyanne's been very silent about this, but I suggested that this should be the new Cartoon Network show called The Conway.
That's giving too much credit to cartoons.
You know?
But cartoons
Well, it makes sense that he would, Trump would get in the middle of this because he likes to separate families, if you'll notice.
Well, yeah.
At the border or wherever else he can do
Here's
it.
the weird thing, though. George Conway, he said, the tweeting is just the way to get it out of the way so I can get it off my chest and move on with my life that day. That's basically it. Frankly, it's so I don't end up screaming at her about it. So instead of going behind closed doors when you get home at night and hashing it out, which I would far prefer, then you go in front of the entire world and tweet out things about your wife
He's
and
been
about her
trying
dog.
not to yell for the last 2 years.
Yeah, at home.
Pretty much.
Well, I was looking, and, you know, one of the couples that are very different, Mary Madeline and James Carville.
Yeah.
And I worked with them at CNN, and she's a Republican, he's a Democrat. They have said that their basic philosophical thrusts are very different, and the way that they stay together is that they do not talk about politics at home. And so I would imagine that
Well, that's why he tweets.
And perhaps that is why he tweets. Maybe they really don't talk about this stuff at home, because how could they if they are so opposed? But what I do find strange is that he attacks her employer publicly
And that's
like
personal.
that. It's so it becomes so personal.
That's not politics to me. These
Also,
tweets
they
got
have
personal.
4 children,
Yeah.
and someday their kids are going to grow up and read all this
And
stuff
see
on
this.
the internet and be like, how weird were my parents? They were tweeting about each other publicly. I feel bad for their kids. I also think that they just have a really bizarre relationship, and I've said it on the show before. I couldn't be married to someone who was publicly slandering my job or my life every day.
Your boss.
And my boss, and I mean, I don't know.
Remember that when the Carvilles were together, they didn't have
We
this,
didn't have Twitter
this crazy
and all of
person
this.
in the White House. They had like a fairly normal Republican
But you
Party
also didn't
and a
have-
fairly normal. They were
You
like
didn't have all
it was-
this way where everything is public, everything is outside.
That's true, too.
Everything is there for you to see. So maybe, you know, this is just me, and remember, I didn't stay married long, so you don't want to listen to much that I have to say. But maybe y'all need to get some therapy.
Yeah.
Because I don't think...
Where do you begin?
You all... Well, I don't know. But I don't think airing your stuff every day publicly is a good idea, because it's not working out, and it's also more distraction. That's why he's in the middle of it. It's also
it's a
more
lot of it is
distraction.
about that.
Is it possible, I'm just throwing this out there, that perhaps she agrees with some
theory.
of the... It's one theory I'm hearing, because, you know, she is partly responsible for putting Trump in the White House. And I don't know, this is just a theory.
He's proud of her for that, he said.
And he says he's proud of her. But he's tweeting things like Trump's mental condition is getting worse. He's saying you can't assume that the things Trump is saying are part of a rational plan. They're a product of his pathologies. And he also says...
What does he do?
He's a lawyer.
Okay, so...
He obviously has
he's
his
not
internet
a shrink,
MD.
Right, but
Yes.
he's not a shrink.
No.
And
No.
so this
No.
is more opinion.
It's all opinion.
It's all opinion. And so, I don't know, George. I mean...
Even a shrink wouldn't diagose him.
You know,
And
not on the
that's the
Twitter.
thing, he
No.
probably
You know,
shouldn't be doing it.
No, he probably shouldn't be.
But why doesn't she then stop him?
She can't.
Well, because he's an adult and she's an adult. And now it's time for everybody to act.
Looking at the women in the view again, talking about Donald Trump and Josh Conway, you all know that the wife was working with President Donald Trump, and the husband, President Donald Trump, came and insulted him. You're a man, even calling him Miss. You are very jealous of your wife. I tried to help your wife, but you don't want me to help your wife. It's because I promised to help you. I did not give you the job I said I will give you. That's why I just got all mad. And President Donald Trump said it on Twitter. You know that President Donald Trump and that man, then John Conway, they've been fighting for a very long time. And the women in the view were just wondering that why will the wife not tell President Donald Trump that stop insulting my husband? I don't like the way you're doing my husband. My husband is a good man. He has been a wonderful man to me. He's a marvelous man. He's the father of my children, because they say they got 4 children. But obviously, the husband too, sometimes the women they visit that he will come, Shanta, you want to talk? He will come on Twitter and tweet. So they ask that why we not just go and call the wife, come, we have a situation here, and talk to the wife gently. But the women in the visitor, you not listen. He said most of the time you just come be online and just be talking. So when they want to say, he said that he wants to say it when it comes to your mind on Twitter, because he don't want to shout loud. The only way for him to do is to pour it out. So the women in the view were just saying that there's a lot of stuff to do for both couples, both husband and wife, because even the husband, who is a lawyer, he's not doing perfectly okay also. He needed to have been more mature, but he's not being more mature. Somebody like Whoopi said she have not been in marriage for a long time. So she didn't marry for long, so she cannot really give advice. But all she knows is that they should see a therapist. Both of them need a therapist. So the women in the view try to explain, according to some of them who want to be marriage therapists, I guess maybe they've been married for a while. They claim that in such a scenario, one of them said that if you have a problem with your husband or your wife, you have to wait for them in a private situation, wait for when the person come out from work, and have that one-to-one with the person, rather than come online and be saying it. Some of the women, what do you think? Do you support that? That if husband and wife have problem, they should not just go to the internet, because that's what is happening now. I'll say the Android generation, most people, you don't even know your partner have problem with you. But when you come to the social media, you're going to see what your partner have written and talking about you, culturing you. For example, your partner says, don't put that toothbrush there, don't put that hair there. When you put it there, instead of calling you and saying, my wife, I'm sorry, I spoke to you last time not to put that hair, not to put the toothpaste there, but when I and did it, so I'm very sorry. Forgive me for everything. Or don't do that next time. Your wife will say, my husband, forgive me. But this couple just come online and just share all their information, whatever situation they have in their life. And the husband, some people say the wife should caution President Donald Trump that he cannot be talking to the husband like that. But some people say that President Donald Trump is a old mature man. Even if they talk, you're not listening. Some people say that maybe the wife was not very strong. If the wife was strong, President Donald Trump would have changed and become a right person. So actually, what do you think? Who are you blaming? Are you blaming the husband who has any little problem and want to Twitter and tell social media? Or are you blaming the wife that will see President Trump talking to the husband and she will just neglect it? Let me see your own suggestion in the comment section. Thank you very much for watching. If you are not subscribed, please subscribe and share video.